Good morning. How are you? So, welcome to the first. Is this the first Power Talk you've come to this semester? The first official, let me say official, senior. Welcome to the first official Power Talk that we as KenSeed are offering. I want to welcome all the new students. Hi. Today we have two sessions. The first session we're going to have students and they're going to talk to us about, they're going to make our presentations about the trends, the current trends in both interior design and in architecture. Then now from the students, we have a speaker with us and she's going to grace us with her presence. She's an awesome designer. So I hope you guys are ready to listen. Are you all ready to listen? After this, we usually have a Q&A session. Q&A session. And it's you asking the questions. Yeah? And if you refuse to ask questions, guess who asks the questions? Who do you think will ask the questions? Who? You. It's me. Sawa sawa. So, after the speaker is done, I hope that you guys are going to have questions. I hope you guys are going to have learnt a lot. And we can only get better from here.
Hi everyone. Hi, how are you? Mko poa? So today we are going to do trends. Trends that are currently they're ongoing, they are coming back to the society, okay? I can give you a good example. For instance, the styles we are wearing. We are seeing afros coming back. We are seeing belly bottoms coming up. So that I want you guys to understand in terms of trend. So a quick one. Who can tell us what trends are?
My name is Diana Shuel. Trends are a pattern of change, actually.
As she has explained, trends, it's a kind of things that coming back, okay? So one of the trend is we have use of biophilic. So biophilic, what do I mean by the use of biophilic? Biophilic is the incorporation of use of nature in a space. Are we all together? So who can give me an example of a biophilic by the definition I've just explained to you guys? Who can give me one? I can give you one. One of them is the use of pots, like flower pots in a space. For instance, we have these crawling flowers, yeah? They put a little bit of chains and a bit of straight metals, and then now they the spiral flowers, whatever. How many have seen that? How many have seen that? We need to be very interactive, right? So that we get what I'm saying or what I'm passing through. So that it becomes knowledgeable for you guys. You as interior designers, you can use biophilic in a space to make the space like feeling you're out. You're bringing the nature from outside, now you're bringing it inside. Are we together? We are good? We are good? So at least now you have an idea of what biophilic is.
Hello everyone. So under trends, I would like to talk about statement sealing. And allow me to speak in English. Kiswahili kidogo hatupatani. So for those who prefer Kiswahili, mtaniwia radhi. Under statement sealing, there are two types of sealing. I'd like to talk about gypsum and wood. How many of you know what a gypsum wall is?
Hi everyone. I'm Stacy, and a gypsum is like this partition here.
Please let's clap for her, guys. Thank you. So these days, when you walk into malls or even houses, you'd find a lot of ceilings are not just a normal concrete, because even if you look at this ceiling, it's quite boring, you know. So a lot of people use gypsum to bring beauty into the ceiling, because with gypsum, you're able to mold the ceiling to any design, any pattern, and be able to bring some life, so that even when somebody walks in, they look at the scene, they're like, oh, this is quite good. And with gypsum, you could also combine it with snake lights, like the ones we have here, LED lights, or even those small bulbs lights which make the wall look beautiful. And also for wood, I would say it's more or less the same like gypsum because you are able to carve and create patterns and designs on the ceiling which also bring life into the ceiling.
Hi guys, good morning. My name is Esther and I will be speaking on maximalism. Now, when we look back in the past, the designs were quite boring, like frankly. Everything was just black, white, beige, boring colors. But you look at today, your institution for an example, you have yellow, you have green, you have red, blue. Everything is just popping. So, on maximalism, we are talking about the unique trend that we have come into of exploring. We are exploring into unique designs, even in terms of the shape of the room. Take this class that we're in, for example. It's not the usual triangle. Tumezoea ile classroom inakaa tu kawaida. We talk on furniture. Furniture is, you can look at the seats alone, peke yake, very unique shapes. Even the lighting fixtures, if you look at hizo nyumba za enzi, you ever look at them and just be like, kabalb kamoja, kama imesimama tu hapo. But these days, like Isaac said, on gypsum, there is like the snake lights, there are the little lights all around, and they look really good. So for people, yeah, I think for me, the maximalism, that the evolvement of what we are used to what we are coming to, and I think that is my point on it. Yeah.
So today we're also going to talk about stones. Stones is also the use of biophilic as a natural stone. How many know about how many have heard about a man's cave? How many? A man's cave.
A man cave is like a room, mostly it's done by men for themselves, and even women are not allowed to go there sometimes, but they do it specifically to their liking, to their design, and even like to hold meetings or just friends come there to watch football, where women are still not allowed. That's why it's called a man cave. But mainly it's for relaxing or like a getaway place for a man.
She's got it. A round of applause for her. Yeah. So a man's cave is what she has described. It's a unique design, specifically for men. But also women are normally allowed, depending on the social group you guys. Okay. So it's a man cave whereby guys, I'm a man, design a specific place, a space. Specifically, let me give an example of a garage. You can turn it from being a garage to being a man's cave. So you put your own design and whatever. So where do I want to bring you guys? Use of, how many know gabions? Gabions. Gabions ni hizi zinakuanga sana sana on slopey areas. For instance, where we normally have this like sliding soil erosion, yeah? Soil iko very loose, and then they use it like they used hand pack hardcores, alafu inekwa na wire mesh whatever. So that's the type I want to use. Gabions are normally used in a man's cave, for instance. It's a small like a bar setup. We also have seats made of gabions, whereby we are using like these natural stones that normally look very polished. Have you ever seen these sea pebbles? Nina shaicheza hii game ya kurusha mawe kwa maji hivi. Inaenda ina slide hivi. How many have done that? Mimi nimeshaifanya. Nina shaicheza hiyo game kwa maji. Kwa maji unashika mawe hivi unarusha. Ina slide hivi juu ya maji na float hivi. So those types of stones. So that type of stone, it's very organic. It's natural. It's not something that cannot be carved, but has been formed within the earth. So if we use that type of stone, then at least we can have a different trend rather than having us normal benches, normal couches. So whatever we were seeing being done in the past actually is being reintroduced. So we are also going to talk about water fountains. How many know about water fountains? A good example ni hii kwa hapa kwa GTC. Hapa nje. How many have seen it? Nani ameona hii water fountain kwa hapa GTC hapa nje? Kwani hawa ndio wanakuanga na macho, watu wengine hawana. So ukiangalia, can you imagine having that in your space? Just imagine having a water fountain in your house. For instance, your living area, where you guys just go have sit and watch the nature itself being brought to you inside your living space. It can be an amazing design, right? Who can describe what a wallpaper is? A wallpaper is a what do you call this? It's a lubrica. It's a lubrica. For instance, ni kama copy paste of something original, but it's printed on paper. For instance, we have these wall designs, 3D. So for instance, if I'm designing this space and I want to have stones, so I can come, go to a designer, print it in a 3D form. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about monochromatic palettes. So what do I mean? What I mean is, this is the use of same color, but in different shades. Okay, what do I mean? Let me give you an example. I love gray. Gray, we also have different shades. We have bright, we have dull, we also have ash gray, which I love personally. I incorporate it like anywhere I can. Yeah? So that's the use of monochromatic. It's a type of trend that it's normally used, what do you call this? In a living setup, for instance, a sitting area, a dining area, or a bathroom, or in a bedroom. Those are the most places that you might find we use this type of monochromatic style.
So I'm back again, and I would like to talk about flexible spaces. And I would like to use this room as an example. Whenever you come here from Monday to Thursdays, you'll find tables, you know. And when it comes to Friday, there are no tables. And we have to go through the hassle of carrying these tables out. And once we're done, we have to bring it in. But imagine how cool it would have been if the school would have applied the rule of flexible spaces and inserted something like, if the table is here and we require to have a conference like this, we can just fold the table and push it towards the wall. We would not have to undergo struggles of carrying the table out and bringing it back in. And the meaning is people are introducing multiple functional spaces, whereby if this is a classroom, it could also be used as a conference room right now. So it allows the room or the space to have multiple functions than just it being a classroom. So even in our homes, sometimes the designs, we do not have a lot of space to work with. So you'd find either the architect or the interior designer will have to come up with a flexible space system or mechanism to be able to accommodate one room but to have different functionalities in the same room. Allow me to invite Esther.
All right, thank you for that. My next point will be on smart technology. And who's ever heard of home assistant technology? Home assistant technology, like anyone? Okay, I see a hand back there. Cool. So, these are tech being introduced into furniture, or just generally the things that are in the house. So you'd find like the taps, motion sensor taps. You can just place your hand and the water will start flowing. And once you take it away, it stops. There are the likes of doors, motion sensor doors. You just walk in and it opens. So even music systems, actually, there are those that just play from the ceiling, like really cool. We have blinds that simply you can speak to it. You know, you've also heard of Siri. You can just speak to Siri and be like, close the blinds, and it will close. So those are some of the things that have been coming up in the recent trends of smart technology in our interiors. And in architecture was mostly the doors, and interior design was mostly the blinds, the lights. Those are what we've been looking into. My next point would be on open plan spaces. If you notice, back in the day, our kitchens were quite closed off. Even some of them actually separated from the house. But you look at today's modern design and you notice that it's open. The sitting room is open, dining is open. You can speak from the kitchen to a person who's in the sitting room and you'll communicate. Because people have realized they don't want those barriers. They want to be able to just flow with the rest of the house. And technically, I think it makes the house look bigger, my own opinion, just saying. But we are using colors to separate those spaces. Like you'd notice they can use carpets. They can use carpets to separate the sitting room from the dining, that it will give the illusion that that's where the sitting room ends. And then now from then on, there can be the dining, it can be the kitchen that will be flowing with a separate color, but you get the idea. Like they're just trying to put separation, but it's an illusion. And I think it works perfectly in this current state. And yeah, I will pass this mic to Vanessa.
The speaker is Miss Joanne. Please just give her a clap as she's coming. Just a brief introduction. She is an interior designer. She is an interior designer and she works for a firm called Stawi. Stawi. Si mnajua ustawi? Sasa toa u. Ibaki nini? Stawi. So give her a clap and make her feel at home, make her feel comfortable. Msimwangalie vibaya sana. Sawa. Be warm. Haya, karibu sana.
Hi. Saseni. You all look good from here where I'm standing. Thank you. So as you've heard, my name is Joanne Mwende. I'm an interior design assistant at Stawi. And I want us to have a talk about interior design because my work today was to come and affirm to you that you're in the best career. Whatever you chose is the best, and interior design outstands careers, right? Yeah, so I want to bring myself to a point, your point. And looking at you, it reminds me of my school days and the days when I used to sit and expect a lot from the speakers. So I really don't know what your expectation is by the end of this career talk, but I believe I will deliver what I am here to do. And I'd like to pick it from where they've left and just had some 2-3 trends in interior design. Let me generally call these wall finishes. We have new trends in design that are basically not paint finishes. They've talked of wallpaper, but we have a paint that is called a special effect paint that is really replacing the textured wallpapers and the normal paint. And the special effect paint has texture. And it is a paint that when you're far, you can really see, let me call it a little glimmer. You can see it glimmering from far. So that's a new trend in the market. We also have a new trend of wall finishes that is called wainscoting, a wood that is decorated and put in an aesthetic way to help complement the wall, such that you can hang wallpapers with ease without having to wonder, where do I put wall hangings, where do I put this one, where do I put that? So you create the wainscoting that gives you a chance to put lighting, aesthetic lighting, or wall hangings. Melewa. So another wall finish is wall paneling, wood paneling, not wall, wood paneling, which is basically happening with wood. It's a play of wood. Or we have another way of doing wood paneling that you can use flute panels. So you need to keep up with those design trends. And lastly but not least, we have use of aesthetic light. I think you've walked in so many places. Let me give an example of Naivas supermarket. You've walked into Naivas and you've seen they've done a lot of industrial railing. And in those industrial railings, they've done track lighting. We're moving out from the kawaida lights, bulbs. So we're really adopting the new aesthetic lighting, such as these suspended pendants. You can see they are enclosed in aesthetic shapes. So we're moving out from the kawaida boring bulbs and adapting aesthetic lights. So those are just to add a few, but the trends are many. The thing is just research, and you can talk to your lecturers when you don't understand. I believe they're here for that. So interior design, I'd like to begin with asking a question. Have you ever thought there's a difference between interior design and interior decoration?
Interior design is more of a science of making a space functional, but interior decoration is more of an art, making a place appealing and beautiful. Yeah.
Let's clap for her. Another response, what is the difference?
Yes, when it comes to interior design, one has to go to an institution to learn, and then interior decoration, you can just learn even from the internet.
Let's clap for her. I need as many responses as possible because we are talking. I'm not here to lecture.
Just to make it simpler, an interior designer is an implementer of a certain design and specifications. And interior decoration, now this is the art of making a space aesthetically pleasing and functional.
So they've all given good responses, and the responses are quite true. Interior design is an art and science, and you said it's an art and science. Would you mind telling us why you said it's a science?
The reason why I said interior design is more of a science, because I can give an example. Maybe you have been given a task to interior design a home which has maybe a sick child who can be affected by maybe some color or something. You have to dig into health a bit so that you know what fits him or her best. Yeah.
That's true. So here's my distinction. Interior design and interior decoration, as they've all said, that is true. Whatever they've said is true. Interior design is an art and it's a science. But interior decoration is more of, it's more of aesthetics. Aesthetics, I mean, if today I walk into a space with an interior decorator, they'll be able to say, I need a mirror there, I need a wall clock, probably I need snake lighting, which is out here, it's called cove lighting. So that will basically be the work of an interior decorator. But once you walk into a space with an interior designer, they see more than what you can see. That's why they said it's an art and science. It's an art because an interior designer can decorate. They can say, put this here, do that there, use these finishes on the chair, use this material, because basically that is what interior decoration is. But it goes more when it's said as interior design. The science bit is, if today I'm given this space to turn into a, let me say, for instance, a cafe, a fast food cafe, I'll be able to sit down and calculate, I need this number of chairs, I need this design, I need these wall finishes, I need these materials, you know, I need this lighting, I need these counters that look this way and this. So that basically defines interior design as a science. So the moment you walk out, you need to have a clear distinction of when you say you're an interior designer, what do you do? Are we together? Yes, you need to be able to distinguish yourself from an interior decorator. And basically that is what you're here to do. And to my next thing, I'll talk about the skills that are required in interior design. The first of it all is professionalism. You need to be professional in what you're doing. And basically, that is what you're here to do. That's why you're here to learn. And in no time, mtapata time yenyu imeisha hapa. And it will be now your time to apply what you've gotten from here in the market. And you need to be a professional. You need to approach what you're doing with professionalism. You just don't come and you do, how do I call it? You do kazi yenye haifurahishi. Yet you've gone to school, all those years you've spent in school, the time you've spent in school, and it will not just be pleasing. So you need to be professional in what you're doing. Number two, you need to be accountable. Accountable in this way. If I say today I designed, for instance, the Naivas supermarket. If today I say I was part of what is done in Naivas, I have taken accountability of what I have done. And that is an important skill that is required in interior design. The other thing, you need to be creative. Our field is not a static field. Like, there are new things every day. You wake up today, unapata kesho kulinventiwa something new, so it's worth a try. So you need to be creative in what you're doing. Be able to blend different design themes. I think you've learned about design themes, which are different from design trends. So you need to be able to work out with those design themes and create something beautiful, something functional, something aesthetic. So you need to be creative. Another skill, and this is very much paramount, you need to be someone who takes criticism. I don't know if I've said it in the right way, but out here you will meet critics. You will meet people who their work, they're just good at giving critiques. Probably, I didn't like this light. Why did you have a chandelier instead of a luster light? I don't like this pendant. You should have put a more aesthetic one. But you as a designer, you know that is what fits in that space. So you need to be able to accept criticism in the right way. And lastly, you need to be open-minded. Interior design is not about stagnation. Let me put it in quotes. It is not about nimejua hii leo, so hii ndo na work nayo the rest of my life. It is, you need to be open-minded. You need to see, what do architects do? what do they do that I can implement in interior design? What do quantity surveyors do? Like, you need to be someone who is flexible and easy to learn. So that is what I call being open-minded. And having said that, interior design is a good career. And you didn't choose wrong, you chose right. Because you will walk into spaces. Probably you have a friend who is an accountant, another one who is a marketer, another one who is a business person, an entrepreneur. And funny enough, you're the only person who will recognize that, this light, wangeka kitu ingine, ingekaa vizuri. But what they've put here right now, So you will be the only person who will be able to notice the wrongs that are done in spaces. Probably we say that interior designers have a third eye. A third eye, macho. Ile yenye si kila mtu ako nayo. So you need to be able to, even as you walk around, learn new trends, learn new things. You can come discuss with your friends, because you don't know, at the end of the day, your friends go home, some watch documentaries, they keep up with what is happening in interior design. Some have friends who are architects, some have friends who are quantity surveyors, structural engineers. So you need to keep up with what is happening in interior design. And having said that, I'd like to have my parting shot. My parting shot in this way: don't waste your time here in school. Take whatever you're being taught seriously. Because out here, utapatana na people who are not willing to help you learn, implement what you've learned in class. And I will not promise you that you will find people who are always ready to help you out. I will not lie to you and tell you they are there. You'll actually meet bosses who they expect you, the moment that you applied for that position as an interior designer, to know what you're doing. And at that time, you have no experience, you're just fresh from school. So take what you're learning here seriously. And I'd like to finish with something I'm calling a soft landing. A soft landing is, you go for attachments, right? You go for attachments, right? At the end of this journey in third year, you will go for attachments. Many of you will not like attachments. They will not want to be employed. They want to employ. They want to own companies. So a soft landing is, you don't need to struggle. If you already know your path is being an entrepreneur, be that. Soft landing is, when you go out for attachments, you will meet architects, you will meet structural engineers, civil engineers. Network with those people. Those are the people who will make you ukimaliza shule usiende ukae kwa mzazi and you're like, hakuna kazi Kenya, nilienda nikasoma interior design and there's no work. So when you go out, when you meet interior designers, those who are already experienced in the field, architects, people in the construction companies and construction industry, create network as much as possible. That will help you have a soft landing in the industry. And having said that, I'd say that was my time. I hope you've learned something. I don't know if you have questions.
I have a question. There are these websites you find where people have their own website, where they charge, let's say, almost $50 per hour to explain to someone maybe an interior design, or maybe how you can design a space. How do you go about that, and how can we as interior designers create those websites?
So to answer that, yes, there are people who create websites to offer consultations in interior design, because that is also a way that you can go into. You just decide from today, my work will be responding to the inquiries I have from the website. So you already have the skills that you need, that you learn here in school. So basically what you need is just the website and the correct network. Like, how do you market what you have? How do you market your website? So marketing, I think that is bit of, you need to market, and you need to make sure that what you're offering is, like I said, is professional. Like, people can trust what you're saying. People can trust what you're doing. So I think I've answered your question. Yes? Have I? Another question?
My name is Mike, and I have two questions. One is about when you're being self-employed as an interior designer, must you have capital for you to start your own brand? That's question number one. Question number two, when you walk in as a new interior designer into the industry, right? What were some of your challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome them?
The story about capital, that one I'd say it will depend on you. Because capital, you can begin your own farm that doesn't have a physical location. So what you just do, you work from home, deliver to your clients, and site supervisions, and make handing over of projects. So that, to me, I'd say that is one way. So for me, that doesn't need a lot of capital. You just need the equipment. That is the laptop and probably a desktop. The other way, if you're doing a physical office, you need capital because you need to pay rent, and probably you will have other people that you're working with. So you will also need to have capital to pay them. So that's how I would respond to that question. And then your other question was me going into the interior design industry for the first time. Well, I was talking to her out there, and she was asking me about the same. And I was telling her, what sells you as a designer is presentation. How are you presenting what you have? Because when you go to look for a job, you're asked for three things. One, a cover letter. Two, a curriculum vitae. And three, a portfolio. And what sells you most as an interior designer is the portfolio. So how are you presenting what you've done? How are you presenting what you have? That is what matters. So for you to be employed where you want, you make sure that your presentation is right. You make sure that what you're presenting is equally fit for that position that you're applying for. So challenges will be there. So you will apply to as many companies because you know you're a desperate person who is looking for desperate measures to cut what you're doing so that you'll be able to prove that interior design is indeed a profession. So challenges will be there. Sometimes you will go upeane kazi yako and then the hiring team is like, is this really your work? Can you do this right now? Because you know some of us are so talented in doing 3D images such that once they are seen, they look like downloaded images. So those are some of the challenges you will face. And for that, you need to be prepared to know that you present what you can do. Please do not present what you can't do. If you're good in rendering, make sure your 3D images are what you yourself can do. Because part of passing the test can be, you need to be, your interview can be, redraw this house that you've put in your portfolio. And then you see if someone had done the work for you, then it becomes difficult for you, and that's how you're disqualified from that position. So present what you can do. Sawa sawa. Another question?
Okay, my name is Eugene. So I'm asking, okay, will you kindly guide us? Mtu akitafuta kazi, mtu anapaswa kwenda either kwa maybe a farm or maybe an individual person for experience such things.
So I'd respond to that question in this way. We have design firms. We have architectural firms. We are all in the same industry. And I don't think that if you ask for a job in an interior firm, an architectural firm, utaambiwa hapana. Because architecture and interior design are related in a way. So you will need to ask in firms. You can go to firms that specialize in interior design, project management, build and construction. And also, as what you said, like going to someone, probably the person is a freelancer. Let me use that word. If the person is a freelancer, then they can guide you on what to do, because they are not based on a certain firm or company. They just land on projects and they do projects. So you can also rely on someone, work with someone who is not established in a firm or a company. Yes. Another question?
Right now you can see technology is advancing and there is GPT. What will be our work as interior designers since GPT can do everything for you?
GTP is artificial intelligence, right? I don't think artificial intelligence will overpower the human mind. In this way, yes, artificial intelligence will draw for you, will give you renders, but at the end of the day, will it go to the site and supervise? Yes? Will it go to site and oversee the implementation of design fit-outs? Will it? So I think I'm answering your question. The AI will be there. It will do the renders and everything, but I don't think it will overpower the human brain in site supervisions. So I'd still remain that AI it is there, but for me, it will not, it'll take time kabla you overpower human brain. Yes, another question?
In terms of volunteering, how will you, what's your take on that?
Volunteering to work, it's good. Because at the end of the day, but it depends. Let me say it depends. You can volunteer in a company that doesn't even cater for your transport, so everything is on you. That depends. If you're okay to cater for yourself on matters transport, that's okay. And upkeep, that's okay. But there are volunteering companies that put you on probation. On probation in this way, that you're put in a time where you're not given money so that they see whether you're fit for what you're doing. So at the end of the day, they'll still pay you after your probation period ends. So volunteering is, I'd not say it's bad or good, but for me, it doesn't work. Like, I'm selling my skill to you, so reciprocate my skill. Pay me, give me something little, so that I feel that I'm not wasting my time. Yes, another question?
One more question. Like, for example, when you finish your diploma or certificate, you go to look for a job, right? As an interior designer or an architect, right? So, do you wait for companies to bring out advertisement for vacants, or you just take yourself into the company and ask, is there a job or what?
That is simple. Both ways work. So you can choose to wait for an advert for a job, or you take yourself. Let me give you an example. Ukienda kutafuta attachment. Do you go to firms that have said they are offering attachments? Do you? Do you? Yes? So I answer it. It depends. You can choose to go to the firm or wait for adverts. Yes. Another one? So having said that, I'd hand the mic over to Vanessa. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, so you tell your friends to come. You can always invite other people. You can always invite other students from other institutions to come to our Power Talks. And for all this and many, many more, we'll just be seeing you every other week. Sawa sawa. Have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
My name is Zipporah Monique. I am in 1.1 doing my diploma in interior design. From today's Power Talk, what I've learned are the skills required in interior design. For those who are not able to attend our Power Talk today, it was so educative, and I would like to urge you guys to make an effort to attend our Power Talks every Friday. Thank you.
So my name is Davis Mose, and today's Power Talk was so impressive and was so educative. So if you have missed, you've missed a lot. You've missed like 90% of things that you don't know were taught and told to us today. Yeah.
My name is Micah Jam. I'm in 1.1 at Kensit. Power Talks inspire, and if you're a student, when you see a professional standing in front of you, you learn a lot. That's all I can tell you. Thank you.